told you there would be sketchy stuff. That's alright. It's gonna be okay. Heat and feature runs are fun, but the downfalls is the hour it took to get all this stuff out, and the hour and a half it's probably going to take to put it back, as well as it's probably going to sit on the shop floor for a couple weeks before I actually stop procrastinating and put it away. Oh boy. Alright, I'm back. We got the truck emptied out. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It was about an hour, but it's dark now. Front of the trailer's cleared off. We got a few tools set out. I'm going to tie into this engine bay, disconnect all the fuel lines, wiring, all that. I'll get that knocked out of the way, get the hood off, and then we'll roll on ripping this motor out here. So just give me a few minutes. Well, this sucks. I was partway through cutting the front clip off the Monte, and there was an error on the GoPro saying something about the SD card crashing. I'm not very techy, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to fix it or not, so this one might be starting the video back here. So we'll back things up. I said I was going to be back in a few minutes. Here I am a day later, I'm back. Obviously going to cut the front clip off the car, got all the fuel lines, the wire, standalone harness, all that stuff stripped off. I'm just going to yank the whole motor, subframe, all of it out the front, and I'll do the suspension out on the trailer here, just to strip it down and get it ready to go instead of working under the car and all that. And then we'll move on to the rest. Yeah, so let's do some stripping. Not that kind of stripping. The joke was funnier the first time I made it, but it got deleted. Alright guys, let's do some sketchy trailer stuff. I guess I might as well explain what's going on since apparently you missed it all. Took out the two rear subframe bolts, cut clean through the fenders, clean through the frame, and just dropped it all down. Knocked the top hats off the bolts on top of the struts, knocked them loose. So I'm just gonna yank this thing out with the come along. Pretty straightforward. It's the easiest way I find to do it. Get a jack up under the belly of the car and just lift it as high as you can and rip it out the front.
Taking shots at the enemy, I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough that you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough though.
Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me.
So if you're wondering why I cut the front end out of this car and why I'm keeping so many parts, I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty well known, I think anyway, for running these W body cars. It's basically all I've driven for about 4 years or so. So this just makes it a lot easier when you have the parts. These aren't sitting in every scrapyard around. They're not necessarily the most popular car. So it's just handy to have the parts sitting here when you need them, and it's less expensive. If you take something off you already own rather than go pay for it later, and time and everything, it makes a lot more sense. So why do I drive these cars? Some days I'm not really sure. I think they're twice as much work as it would be to maybe build a Toyota or something like that in a stock form. I think they're half the car, if that a Toyota is in stock form. Not that Toyota is the only car out there, it's just the best comparison right now because there's a big Toyota craze on. They're up here cleaning house, so much so that there's classes that don't allow them. Your bone stock, like absolute bone stock build to windshield class does not allow Camrys, Avalon, any subframe Toyota product in it. I'm just invested in it. I ended up with my first W bike was a Monte Carlo. I did some research, I still do watch a lot of Zach's workshop. I try to catch all of his videos. Lots of good tips on there. And he's had a series, at least a series, maybe two, on a W body. So I thought it was kind of interesting, and at that time the Archibalds were cleaning house with W bodies. And I had bought that. When I bought that first one, I had actually planned to start running full size with them, and then COVID hit and the big rule changes hit and stuff like that, and they became compact cars, and I just stuck with them. I was able to keep finding them. I've been able to buy one Toyota Camry. I don't pay high dollar for stuff, but I would pay for the right car, or I do pay for the right car, and I've been able to buy one Toyota, and I didn't actually build it. I traded it for one of the cleanest W bodies I'll probably ever own. That car actually went to New Hampshire last year, came second overall in the heat and feature night, and then the next day went back and won the cleanup show with it. It was a really good car. So yeah, just can't find the Toyotas, even if I wanted to. Honestly, I can't find a whole lot of cars for all that affordable a price. A lot of the cars I get are, aluminum suspension and stuff like that. A lot of work probably to change out, and just not the kind of thing that I really am interested in doing. So you pick those up and scrap them, they fund the rest of this stuff, right? And then moving forward, I seem to keep finding these cars somehow. I don't know how, but I keep finding them at a reasonable price for now. But eventually that day is going to come to an end. So I would like to have the jump on things. I want to maybe have already figured out this newer stuff. These newer Impalas, or other newer GM products. I'm kind of sticking with the trend of the GM stuff. So I figure if I can keep saving all my parts and that, these parts might come in real handy in 5 years. I don't know, 10 years if I'm still doing it at that point. I really don't know. And maybe I'll find the next big thing. I'll find the next Camry. I'll find the next W body. If you're in the States, the next Accord. We don't have a ton of Accords up here really that are really setting the world on fire. We don't really have a lot of them in general. So a lot of Civic guys have got those things figured out, and they're tough. I can still nose them with one of these, but they're tough. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm saving all this stuff. It makes sense, it keeps costs down, and you're just gonna scrap it anyhow. So why not keep it? Maybe you can keep it maybe you can help with the next guy that comes along, and he only runs one W body ever. He doesn't have a stock of parts. If you can help that guy out with a strut or something like that, I don't know. I believe in good karma. Maybe that's that guy that's coming for your wheel on the track and he remembers that he's got your strut in his car, and maybe he doesn't fold your strut over. Maybe he still does, and that's fine too, because that's derby, right? I'm gonna keep cleaning off this subframe. Attempt to get these A-arms off here, and I'll strip it clean, and then probably head to the back and pull all that suspension out, because all of it's good and straight. Alright, I'm not even sure where we left off with this video, but got the Monte all stripped out, loaded with a whole pile of scrap from the shop. Did a good cleanup in the shop. Got the motor ripped out of the Torrent. It's gonna sit here and keep getting filled with interior and stuff like that. So we're gonna get this thing hauled in, and yeah, that'll be the end of the Monte. I'll see if I can get a video or something of it coming off the trailer. As you can see, I did not get a video of it coming off the trailer because the trailer's empty, and it's like 3 or 4 days later. Yeah, a lot's happened here. This is a really spaced out video, but another new car. Not sure what's gonna happen with it. There's a smashed Volvo. I gotta do an aftermath on it. And there is a pro car to put together. There's lots going on here, but I wanted to follow through with the build series on the Monte. I said I would, so that pretty much brings it to an end.